It's the Daily Talk Show. Good morning, everyone. It's 7:63.
Yeah, that's the episode number, not the time. Yeah. What time it is? Hump day. That's what time it is.
If it was 7:63, it would be 8:03.
7:63.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's smart.
7:63. Oh,
point,
yeah, true.
good point.
True.
It's like a 4-quarter latte
Oh,
all over again.
It is Hump Day replay.
It is. Just on the time thing, like Amy's mum, when we go up and stay with her every Chrissy, I'm always asking what the time is. And she gets so annoyed because she has the biggest clock on the wall that is in... it's not number. What is it? Like the
Roman numerals?
Yeah, so it's like this big metal clock that actually has an arm that ticks around. It's Roman numerals.
To remind you how dumb you
It's
are.
analog, and I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
Too much, isn't it?
Like I've decided I'm not engaging with that bullshit.
I love
know what I mean?
I love your hat. You're wearing it forward today. I really like it.
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like hiding away a bit. Just go real low, real low. Like celebrities wear their hat really low, real low. Like celebrities get real down here. And I think it's just like, I know when I feel like wearing it like that, it's not because I think or feel like a celebrity.
You just feel bad about yourself.
No, yeah, it's almost the version of pulling your pants up above your belly button. Makes you feel less fat.
Sure.
Pull your hat down makes you feel sort of like a bit more insulated.
I've always been a above the belly button kind of guy. Yeah. I would definitely, if I feel like high-waisted jeans...
You wear your jeans above the belly button.
With his Asics.
No, I feel like if I was a chick, I would be getting... Because high-waisted jeans... Do you remember when the jeans were so short that you could almost see everything? Like they were like Britney Spears used to wear them. Very 90s, like you would have to actually wax or be...
Hot pants. You're talking Daisy Dukes.
No, like low
hanging jeans.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think Christina Aguilera as well. That era.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And so I feel like the high-waisted jean is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Or no?
It's a piece. It's a point in time. Sorry, I just nearly knocked over. It's a point in time. So like, isn't it funny how like
fashion,
it just comes in and out? Who's deciding that? And how do we all get onto it?
And a Wintour.
Yeah.
Well, I just a masterclass. What do you need to know?
Who's that?
Is it a fashion
Wintour?
What's Devil Wears Prada? Is it about her?
Loosely, yes.
What's the magazine that she's a Vogue?
Vogue, yeah. There's a documentary called The September Issue.
Is she really an asshole, or she seemed nice? Because in the movie they portray her as like cutthroat.
She's quite direct, yes. But
are you the Anna Wintour of us?
I would like to start wearing sunglasses.
No, I don't mean the fashionable one. I mean the
asshole.
Inside or on the way?
What do you mean? Oh, as in sunglasses all the time.
So asshole inside or out?
What does he mean? What's he talking
about? That's what you were thinking. Were you confused because I said inside or out and you were talking about assholes?
No. So what are you saying?
Are you wearing the sunnies inside or outside?
Inside.
Yeah.
That's the whole... Well, it's just wearing them all the time.
I think you can get away with it because you wear glasses all the time. If you see me with the sunnies on inside, immediately you're thinking fuckwit.
Transition lenses?
Yeah, you have a pair. Your old ones.
I don't have transition lenses. Oh. I've got clip-ons. There's a big difference.
Sorry, I was thinking about my uncle who wears his pants up high and his Asics.
Do you know what? Talking about the Asics, yesterday I talked about my struggle with doing up my shoelaces.
Yeah.
Dr. K, she sent me a DM, said these have changed my life.
Oh, let me guess. She's purchased from Instagram ads these little clips that you clip onto each side of where your lace would go in, and they look really cool too.
Well, there's a specific brand. So they're called, Dr. K was saying if you get them, you have to get this specific brand.
What's the brand?
They're called Lock Laces.
Yeah.
And so I bought some. I got like the Daily Talk Show blue as well as black ones. Bree was not a fan. She was like, oh, no, don't do that. And then she asked me, is that because it was $27?
Oh,
she said, is that, no, it was a pack of 2, I think. And
eBay, Amazon?
Or I didn't want to go
locklaces.com?
No, so if you click on there, you end up at a place called, it's like Sport something. And they're the distributor. I started following them on Instagram.
Sports?
No.
I just want to see these. Lock Laces. Oh, yeah. Can you get all, the wacky colours? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this looks great. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it actually is a whole lace with a
drawstring.
A drawstring.
It's like something that an athlete would wear or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for an athlete.
There's definitely kids in prep that are rocking these as well.
But don't you think
great reviews?
Yeah, I think that they are one of those things where it's they're actually going to be very handy. And I think that we'll all look back and be like, doing your lace is a bit silly, isn't it? Well, it's a bit of a waste of time.
It was, look at, you'd think it would be here. You'd think it would be more of a thing because Back to the Future, the automatic shoe that
which they made.
Yeah, but why is that not here?
Because they were heavy as fuck because they had a whole battery in them. You couldn't go on a plane. You had to take, it's just outrageous.
Yeah.
Waterproofing's annoying.
Oh, yeah. That's very annoying.
I would like to get, if I was to get other shoes, getting a shoe with the lights that turn on would be fun.
What about rollers? Could we get
next year in the rollers
shoes?
I would
wheelies?
absolutely break.
Wheelies or rollers?
I'd never had a pair. I always wanted one.
So they have like a wheel at the back on the heel. Heelys.
Oh, yeah.
Heelys.
Mm-hmm. Scoot down the road with
the best was soap shoes.
What are soap shoes?
They got banned. Look them up. Soap shoes. They had a grind, literally like, think rollerblades where they have like a built-in sort of arch in the middle that is plastic so you can grind on poles. Okay. These were shoes with grind. There's a full documentary about them. They're very much like 90s kids would understand them before they banned them. But they were huge. Me and Conspiracy Jimmy got around them hard.
Who banned them?
The school, or was it actually... at an international, like at a...
Yeah, I don't know who banned them, but it was something...
It's like Dr. Dreadful. We were spoken about
ban that shit. There's a bunch of stuff that's been banned in our time.
Did you see... So, Brie was cleaning out the kitchen the other day of the office. She wanted to.
What's that? I had a gun to her head.
Well, I just feel like it seems quite like Gronk behaviour that one of our partners... It was a working bee.
That was a working bee, and we all she killed that.
Yeah, she was very good.
That's great.
Yeah, there are ants in the kitchen now, but I think it's
not her fault. They were there
absolutely not her fault.
And so there was a game that I bought that I don't think we ever spoke about that I got for Christmas. Remember we had that big blow up where I spent $200 at Ozpost before the Christmas episode?
Oh yeah, and you bought a bunch of random shit.
And I used my card or whatever, and then I needed to get reimbursed.
Yeah.
And turned into a big sort of, we were late to do the show.
Yeah.
But we still have that board game. Sevs, do you know where it is?
No, it's not in the cabinet?
It must be in the cabinet. Can you go get it, please? So there's it was like an equivalent of a Dr. Dreadful. So for people who aren't aware, do you remember Dr. Dreadful, George?
No, I never heard it.
So it was a...
You're a bit young.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So a lot of people listening have missed out.
So it was a 1995 sort of era. Thank you, Sevs. Sevs is just handing over the sort of version that I found. So Dr. Dreadful was a game where you could make sciencey things that were disgusting, and the idea was that you could eat them.
Yeah, so you could make worms that would look like jelly worms, and then you'd eat them, or you could make like a pot of like bubbling drink, and you'd sip it, and it was toxic looking, and it smelled like asthma. And if asthma had a smell.
No, it was all gross. It was all like,
I loved it. It was whack, but it was good.
If you search on YouTube for the Dr. Dreadful ads, they're like iconic. But anyway, so they banned them because of asthma attacks, I believe.
Oh. Well, yeah.
No joke.
Yeah, that's it. There was something in it. I never got hit by it, and I've got asthma, so I maybe dodged a bullet.
And so this was at the Ozpost. How did I get to this anyway? About the kitchen, because this was in the kitchen. Brie was like, what the fuck is this? We never got to this. This was on Christmas Day. We did an episode. This is the totally disgusting science stuffed with 7 disgusting and revolting science projects. Make your own digestive system, glowing snot, fart, powered explosion, and more. And so
that's my nickname.
Which one?
Powered explosion.
Great.
And so I wonder, do you actually eat any of it? That's the question.
Do you know what? Now,
probably
in today's age, there is less of those kind of toys. You go to the supermarket. When I was doing a buy up for a Fat Friday of like nostalgic breakfast cereals and stuff, not the same.
You got the milk?
Not the same. We're living in a healthier world for sure. in comparison to when we were around. Like the disregard or the just looseness. I reckon. They could get through. I reckon there wasn't as many rules in place. Like now, there's a general set of it's like drugs that can get passed and aren't allowed. Like LCMs, are hard to find the ones with marshmallow in them.
Really?
They're yogurt based now.
Ugh.
Yeah, but like it's almost like, is it? Maybe it's not healthier, but it's like marshmallow seems more naughty. Yogurt's more like a natural.
Cereals are just a nightmare in general. There's no good cereal.
I quite like Nutri-Grain. Nutri-Grain's great.
There's plenty of good cereals. You're just not a cereal guy.
No, but as in from a health perspective.
Oh yeah, no.
They're all like trash.
100%. Except the fitness one. No, I'm joking. There's one called
Special K.
There's one called Fitness.
Yeah, Special K is meant to be okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it would be good to do this. It's
we can play a little game.
Science has never been so fun. It says on the box, and so I got this. I always imagine. So it was $22.95.
Really?
And they.
I wonder I was pissed.
But I always create a very sad story about people that buy these types of things at Ozpost.
Well, I think you pointed it out that there is all these random gifts, and so people at Christmas time or at a birthday time have relatives interstate or wherever it be. You go to the post office, it's a one-stop shop. Buy it, write the card, send it, everyone's happy.
I think that's the bit that we're not sure on.
It's the thought that counts, as they say.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you buy it for someone, or was it just a group present?
No, it was one. It fell into the category. It was for me, to be honest. Oh. But I wouldn't have gotten it. I wouldn't have bought it if I'd known that it wasn't to eat. The reason I got it was because I thought it fell into the Dr. Dreadful category.
Yeah, that would have been good. Today's a very special day. Today is Georgie Boy's Hump Day replay.
Mm-hmm. Episode number 11.
I've seen him working away, chipping away. It seemed quite good this week.
Oh yeah,
just seemed quite relaxed.
Chipping away.
I don't know if it's high levels of anxiety mean it's better. I haven't quite, don't have the data yet. How many episodes are you in now, Georgie Boy?
So this is number 11. And yeah, it's good. I think I'm happy we've done 11.
And so what are you drinking today?
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of reining things in from last week, I thought I'd just drink some water.
That's responsible.
I'm down. How clean is that glass?
Yeah, it's not a good one to hold up, is it?
No, they're all bad.
So just having water today.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
But yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, here we go. It's Georgie Boy's Hump Day replay, episode number 11.
It's Georgie Boy's Hump Day replay. This week, things got a little bit loose.
Who wants a drink?
Putting a lot.
There we go.
Cheers. Happy Friday night drinks. He spilled it out of his mouth. If you drink at 12, look what happened yesterday.
Do you know what it smells like? Carrots.
Tommy found a loophole in Macca's McFlurry pricing and wanted to expose them.
I got a McFlurry Wednesday night after our day session of drinking. A bit naughty. Got the brand new banana caramel McFlurry, and boy was I not happy with what I'd got. All the ingredients that were inside of this McFlurry are just soft serve, which you can buy separately, a pie, caramel sauce, which you can buy separately. Expose, baby.
Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
We're rich.
If we could get it onto the project, it's definitely going to go viral. Yeah, I know Josh isn't a part of it, but at least George is in there. Yeah, the project, pedestrian TV. If you want to ship it out, like anyone and everyone, I reckon. BuzzFeed. Oh, they're not around anymore? Okay. And the project. Yeah, this one's going to go viral. Awesome. All right, see you, Jess.
Oh, the McDonald's thing. I haven't actually tried it, but I saw it on Pedestrian. Yeah, I've heard people talk about it. It's awesome. So he did 7-Eleven, the O-Bike thing, now McDonald's. I just don't get him. Georgie Boy, though. I like him. He's good.
Josh took Tommy through a shoelace tutorial.
So you grab the bunny ears, you go like this.
Done.
You pass that bit
Pulls out one of
over.
those.
You go like that.
Under,
like
pull down,
that.
lift up.
And I do a knot.
If it was on my foot or I was sitting on a bed doing it, it would be easy.
Chairman Rick wanted to get into the beekeeping game.
$600 a year to rent them.
To rent?
Why do you have to rent them?
No, that's good.
Why?
Non-committal.
Who owns the bees?
You get 80,000 bees.
Mate, they can fly.
80,000 bees?
No, they can, Josh, they can fly. Josh, they fly and they go
Are you
off.
kidding me? 80,000 bees in my house?
No, not in your house. In your garden.
Even in my garden.
So
if you had
one?
10,000 bees, if you had 50 bees, it'd be the scariest fucking thing.
This is what everyone said. They don't sting you.
They're not going to sting you.
Wasps.
Pollinating.
Pollinate.
I'm sure wasps are still pollinating shit too.
I had a bee that approached me when I was...
A big week coming up for Sevs, with Grace moving over.
Seb's girlfriend's moving from Perth, which is very exciting. Have you planned anything? Or are you just giving yourself this week to plan stuff?
No,
or are you not planning anything?
Nothing's planned.
Do you reckon Grace would be into hot springs?
Mate, it is. What do you mean?
It's quite nice.
I fucking hate
Yeah, but you hate taking your top off.
It's a sauna without a roof.
A fucking spa is not a sauna.
A spa is not the hot spring either.
What I'm
submerged in water.
What I'm saying
It's a pool.
is...
What are you saying?
No, but what I'm saying is...
And Tommy's obsession with going viral led to some crazy food ideas.
If you just put an egg in the microwave with nothing other than just the egg, it will blow up.
Can we do mug cakes?
Jar of jalapenos.
Kettle to try poaching.
Puff pastry or frozen pastry.
Put water in it and put it in the microwave, and it worked quite well.
I was just another frozen thing that you eat frozen. I quite like frozen peas.
Peas are a great source of dietary fibre, vitamin A, iron, folate, thiamine, vitamin C, and magnesium. They also have a high level of vitamin K. One of the major health benefits is blood sugar control. Green peas have a low glycemic index, so blood sugar does not increase dramatically after eating them. Pour yourself a bowl of frozen peas for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Well, no, you've got a great point, Georgie. The fact is they're selling it on value.
If we could get it onto the project.
I seem to take O-bike down. Last year I made one of fishing them out of the Yarra River, the O-bikes that were left everywhere.
Are you going to be pissed if it goes viral?
And they have now folded.
Georgie boy will get a lot of love. Yeah. Who's that the guy with the mug?
So I don't know, but I'm out watching and observing what's going on.
I think it'll be good for my brand.
I reckon you're a cheapskate, mate. Pay full.
Thank you to Tully Smythe for bringing the energy.
Obviously, I'm very, close with Dementia Australia, and it would be a great opportunity to raise awareness and funds for Dementia Australia. Plus, I think it would give people an insight into who I am, who I actually am, rather than this person that everyone thinks I am based on a show I did 7 years ago where they saw 4 minutes of me every night.
And here are a few TDTS quotes from the week.
It doesn't actually matter about your personal opinion. You actually need to zoom out and be like, no, this is like human rights.
What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling uncomfortable? And then where does it fit within progress of the world? And
I associate homemade with shit. Like, it's not going to taste any good.
yeah,
Anyway, I was like blown away.
that upbringing for you, mate.
That's it from me. I've been Dodgy George. Good night, Australia. Love you.
Georgie boy.
He's done it again.
Oh yeah.
Amy's going to be happy you said I love you at the end. She missed that last week.
Confusing for the listener, I reckon. That
Why?
one. I don't know.
What's confusing about it?
Oh, I just like the end bit. It's a bit... It's okay, but sorry if you're listening only.
No, it's worth watching. This is why we sort of play it here, and you can jump on and watch it on YouTube. It's fucking great, mate. Well done.
That's fun.
What was confusing about it? What was the quote bit, or which?
No.
bit was
I mean the project bit.
the project. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You do need to sort of see you eating the peas for it to make sense.
It's like George was essentially upset that he was not on the project.
I
with
did
me.
get to be honest.
But I wasn't on the project. That's the funny bit too.
But I think the funny bit was yesterday I was sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that GB was recording something for Hump Day replay. So that reenactment, I thought, was an actual call that you were having. And I was like, what the fuck? Is he still trying to get it on the project?
It's good for my brand.
What's TJ up to?
I know Josh is in it, but it's good for my brand.
It's great.
No, I respect that.
We're ripping into ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But it didn't go viral.
No,
it didn't.
Well, how many views did it get?
Yeah.
Don't know. Haven't looked.
Do you want to go on Instagram or YouTube?
You did say to me, there was a point when you're making it that you're so fired up about it. It's like, mate, can I get a bit with you in it? It's like, because I think like it's going to go viral.
Well,
and
no,
you want to be included.
That is part of the joke of asking you, would you be okay if something went viral? Because last time you weren't in the thing, and then they had Ryan John being the host of the Daily Talk Show. I had to make an adjustment.
Yeah,
I had to get into make a retraction.
It was okay. It was
apology. Fine. No, there was no apology. Well done, George.
Thanks. Sevs, any update on? So Grace is coming. Next week.
Oh yeah. Well, I got an email from Rod last night. He listened to our episode about what are my plans when Grace is here.
And so Rod is the owner of the house in Blairgowrie, which he has kindly offered for you to stay at the Airbnb.
And how's this as well? 10% off for any Gronks.
Oh, that's good. So how do Gronks?
Well, so you got to mention it when you book, and then he'll.
Where do people find the Blairgowrie?
So you can go Beach House Blairgowrie on Instagram, and then you can also it's in his little bio. You can click off to Airbnb and
you can call Rod.
Maybe.
Have you spoken to him on the
Mason
phone?
at bigmediacompany.com. He's the property manager. He's locked in for a 3-year deal with them.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I got an email from Rod yesterday, and it detailed a bunch of things that you can do whilst we're down there. And so it was like hot springs. It was like where the best walks are, where the beaches are. He's like, oh, there's even like a picnic basket. If the weather's good, go to this beach. He's even done a map of where the house is and where everything is situated in relation to the house.
That's good.
So lucky baby.
He's done the whole itinerary of things that I could just pull from.
I think that's like what I'm sure he's done that before, and he sends it to everyone.
It's great if it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good process. I think that's a good process.
It is in the spirit of Airbnb.
Yeah,
they do that.
It's sort of like a house manual.
You should see this email. It's an
comprehensive.
Essay. It's great. It's a whole essay. Yes.
Imagine if you worked out that someone else that had an Airbnb had taken your copy, your email. Because it's interesting because it's like Airbnb, there's no set rule of how far they have to go for you. There's probably like the base of like, you need to make sure it's clean, fresh stuff, or it like outlines that you need to bring stuff. But then you get ones that are going way above and beyond. It's like they're treating it as a business within itself.
With jam and stuff.
Yeah.
Getting free jam.
That
actually reminds me, talking about the stealing someone's copy of their Airbnb manual. How about this for a story? So before Tommy and I properly got together with our businesses, a client contacted me, who I hadn't worked with before, but they said, "Hey, we want to do a video," and they basically asked me to sort of give them a bunch of details and give them pricing. And so I wrote out, they were very sort of vague around the specifics of it all. And so I helped them and was like, this is what I think you need. Like, we'll do this video and then we'll do that one. And I sort of wrote it all out very clear for them, because I felt like this person's not really sort of grabbing the project and running with it.
It's the reverse brief where they get you to do the brief for them.
Exactly.
So they don't have to think.
And so anyway, I did that, but they didn't know that Tommy and I were connected. And so then Tommy got an email with, hey, we want a video done, can you quote? And then they'd copied and pasted all of the copy that I'd written for them around what they should do.
That's outrageous.
Absolute dogs. The one bit from that story which makes it even more layered is that they contacted someone in Perth, Till.
Yeah, that's right.
Who then thought about me because you weren't around at that stage.
So that's right. So it was they went to me. I quoted, gave them the copy. They then went to Till. Till then says, "Speak to Tommy," and then Tommy. I love that Tommy then, because this was when I was overseas for 3 months or whatever, and we're coming back, joining forces, and Tommy had the call with them, being like, "Oh, so my business partner, Josh Janssen, is across this because he wrote all the fucking copy in the email."
The best is that I got on the phone and I teased out. So I was like, "Oh, I'd love to talk to you about the project." And then I waited maybe 5 minutes after she'd sort of gone into detail about it. Then I revealed that I had been a part of, like, we even worked on that together.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, yeah. So what you've got there is from Josh, and Josh and I were working on that together. Oh, the embarrassment. But I think it's just lazy at that point. Like, is it the wrong thing to do? Because I
hate reverse.
It's definitely the wrong thing to do. You can't just rip it. Because did you hear anything back from them, Josh? Or was they gone? Like,
we made $750 out of it.
Oh, that's right.
Was because they charging them for the time, and they paid it. Well, because out of embarrassment.
Well, because they were. What happened was they then said, "Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do the video with you guys."
Yeah.
And accepted the quote that I'd initially sent them.
Yeah.
But then they were, a big retail, like a massive, like a retail
they're
giant.
On the list.
And so they. I don't want to give away too much.
No,
it's never again.
But never again? It's not, I guess it's not okay. I mean, but the thing is,
being caught out is fucking like being the one that catches someone out like that. It's a good fit. Like, how many other opportunities do you have of doing that in life?
And it's so low level. That's why I was okay. I mean, so you could easily, like, I avoid awkward situations because you could say that's going to get real awkward on the phone. Mm-hmm. But I kind of liked the energy of that one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's come back to me. So it's like...
Well, you know the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you can play the whole thing out. So.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had any big ones that people have stolen ideas.
Well, you hear it in agency world or whatever, where it's like they pitch for an idea and then they go to another company and get it done cheaper.
Or TV, like back in the day, scripts and things. Like you hear about, I'm sure if you type in Sevs, TV script left at cafe and then like it's been leaked and so it hasn't even been in production or something's been written. Like I remember a good friend of mine, his dad pitched a show and the TV station, like he'd already had a couple of TV shows on. Mm-hmm. This was back in the 80s, 90s, and the show got taken. He pitched it in as the idea. Mm-hmm. They took it, developed it without him.
It happened with a mate of mine high up in the entertainment industry with ABC. Went in, pitched the idea, was happening, and then it's like no longer happening, go cold, and then release their own version.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
It's so annoying. There's not like what can you do about it?
Well, that's the IP thing. I also push back on anyone that's spending too much time talking about something. Like if you're talking about something that doesn't give you ownership over it, like you're not actually execute, like until you execute it, it's a bit hard to take ownership.
Yeah. But then, I mean, what's original these days? Mm-hmm. Like what is an original idea?
Yeah, well, I remember one of the first books I ever read from start to finish, Filmmaking for Dummies.
Oh, yeah. Is that a part of the For Dummies series or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually on the For Dummies website the other day.
I thought you were on the side.
What do you mean?
I was on it. I was on
Josh Janssen.
Josh Janssen for Dummies. No, so I was Googling something and then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm learning about it and you can't help but judge your experience based on, like, I think I was working out how to set a voicemail in Skype. That's a very specific question.
Yeah. Oh, there's a full website, Dummies. Mm-hmm. Dummies.com.
Dummies.com, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Learning made easy.
Do you think that they've got a branding issue? Because some of their stuff is quite good.
I think they've got a strong brand. Like you think about them, they're simplified. They're the barefoot of everything. Barefoot simplifies finance for Gronks. Mm-hmm. So that you can understand, they do it for everything, but they don't have it's not like the personal brand. Mm-hmm. Well, individual behind it.
Who writes all of them?
Yeah. So they have like experts.
A lot of articles though, like any topic you can think of, very specific ones as well. Like that voicemails.
Yeah, it's very specific. Yeah. Well, I always wonder about ones where it's specific to like Outlook 2014 for Dummies, like a book about like an email client, and they have like pictures of it all, and you can learn through that.
Galaxy Tab, how to add Skype contacts.
I just typed in cleaning AirPods. Like I was thinking, what if that's a thing? How to jumpstart a car. It then jumps to how to pray the rosary, like with rosary beads.
You had some rosary beads on your desk the other day.
Yeah, old school. Mum always gives me stuff, and like back in the day, and I just keep it. I feel too guilty throwing it away.
So where'd you put them?
Back in my drawer. Okay, sure. It's like if someone gives you a Bible, what do you do with it? Feel a bit. I mean, even if you're not religious,
put it in the bookshelf.
You still could sort of get a bit.
It's another book at it.
Maybe.
What they say.
How to tell whether your vehicle needs a tune-up. How to calculate percentages.
What is a tune-up?
A tune-up, like tuning your car.
But what is a tune-up actually? Could I tune up my i30?
No.
Is that what they're talking about?
Tune-up, that's just like, replacing the oil. Is that just a service?
A tune-up, I feel like it's like adding an extra 10 Ks an hour.
I think it's just optimally brake pads and just like dialing in a few things.
The problem is it's the electrical, like the new computers in cars. They need to be plugged into. Then that's where they can do some like they can tune a car without touching it, other than having the computer cords plugged in.
Sure.
And then they can dial a few settings. Next minute, you got a Ferrari.
Well,
it's a lie. It's a lie.
If you started with one.
But I feel like after every service of my car, I feel like I've got a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Even if it's just up here.
Yeah. I mean, Brie definitely, like when it comes to putting air in the tyres, can't help herself, but like, it's just driving so much better.
And then even a full tank of petrol. Full tank of petrol, you're like, I feel good.
It's got energy.
Got energy.
The car's got more power. Yeah.
Do you think it
More
does based on you just feeling and thinking that? Like if it's got something to
I do wonder if I was to fill up the tyre, whether Brie would. I think it's a bit of the IKEA effect.
Yeah.
She's
I've made a better car.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about the For Dummies thing, this is sort of in the intellectual property realm.
Yes.
There's, I've mentioned it before, I believe, the poor man's copyright and how to basically prove that you are the original owner of an idea.
How do you do that? Like songs are a big one.
What would you do, GB? How would you sort of, a poor man's version, how would you do it?
I mean, you'd probably write something and put it in a safe, or
how do they know when the safe?
Put a date on it. Email yourself.
Oh,
that's very close.
Yeah, you've done this before.
You've done this on the show.
I didn't fucking get it. I was pissed off that I didn't get it. I'm still not going to get it.
It's
something really basic.
What you know?
What is
you
it?
remember?
Postage stamp. Postage.
Post it to yourself.
Yeah. So you put it in a manila. What happened to manila envelopes?
Still around.
What's manila envelope?
Manila folders.
What's that?
Is manila a colour?
I thought manila folder.
I think it's a brand. No.
Mum, can you get me a manila folder? I need to put some stuff in it for school.
Yeah,
it's a brand.
Yeah.
It is a brand.
It's the Dyson.
No,
manila folder is a file folder.
So do you get a manila envelope or you just get a yellow envelope?
I'd never heard of a manila envelope.
I imagined a yellow envelope. The problem with manila folders, they don't hold anything in them.
Yeah.
They're just loose. You could put 100 documents.
I used to have on my desk at my PT studio, there was like a tiered sort of holder and it would have manila folders in it.
Can I guess what else you had?
What else?
You had a stamp.
Nah, no stamp, mate.
Really?
I'm not that fucking old, dude.
Well, so my dad, I remember in the day, in the 90s, having a stamp pad.
Oh, with your logo on it. Yeah.
But even like paid. And it was but it was like as a kid, you would want to play with that. But also the carbon copy paper where you could write on something and then it would like
transfer
paper. Is that what it's called?
So there's transfer paper, but then there was also the stamps. I had one for my stripping agency, Aussie Spunks.
Yeah.
It was a great sort of at the front, girls' nights were doing it, stamp at the front door.
Sure. I was actually...
What a fucking life.
Pretty cool. Was it tacky then?
No, it's not cool.
Was it tacky then?
The stamp or the stripping?
The whole thing.
Yeah, everything was.
But do you think it was less tacky than what it is now?
Which? The stamp?
Having an event. Do you reckon harder to put on an event now? All dude strippers.
How would you do it? Would you change it? Would you do it in a little event bride, or like how would you?
Yeah, what's a 2020?
What's the version now of a stamp? Mm-hmm. Scan on your phone, little barcode.
It was just a stamp to get in. Yeah. I think it was just a branding piece. It's like it's like us doing the stickers.
Okay. Still get stamps.
It had no real relevance other than that's a cool
Surely
idea. I paid $50.
Jimmy would give you
he was
wristbands.
There. He DJ'd at the girls' night we held.
You
free champagne.
How many women?
Stepped in glass.
Stepped on
glass.
That's like Die Hard.
Who did?
Me. I stepped on glass.
Is this the same night with the sausage rolls?
No, different night. Different night.
Okay.
It's
the burnt. Oh yeah, lot of injuries. Yeah.
I'd done it. Like the thing about the looking back on that shit for me is like so cringe, but it doesn't feel like that in the moment. Anything you're doing that you look back on and think it's cringy, why would you be doing it if it's in the moment you're feeling completely like that? You either get out of it. That's why I did get out of it, because I started.
What was the last strip you ever did?
Fuck, good point. Shit. It may have been in New Zealand. No, Tasmania. Where
do you remember, was there a real moment of like,
I'm done.
No more.
Oh, no, it was at the start of that.
This is going to get dark.
It was 30 shows previous to that when I was over in New Zealand in Picton. Caught the Picton Ferry from Wellington.
Were you all wearing like matching... I can imagine all like
completely
matching hoodies.
Culturally inappropriate outfits. That's what we were wearing.
What sort of like YMCA? Like,
I was wearing...
the Village People?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
And so
like, it wasn't even thought then, right?
You just got your costume and put it on.
They just gave it to me.
How many of you were there?
4 of us on stage. But there's one moment where I was on stage. I was hungover from the first night that we got there. And we just sort of did a bonding session, got drunk on Jim Beam. And then the next day did a show. And I just remember just arms going up, looking away from the crowd, just thinking, what the fuck have I got myself into? I was just like, at that moment, it was just bearing it.
So with comedians, you can have bad crowds. Is there ever a bad crowd when you're doing that? Like anyone like...
Some are just rowdy and some aren't.
So rowdy would be good?
Rowdy is easier because you know that people brought the vibe. Rowdy in a fun way. I mean...
What would be rowdy in a negative way?
Like...
Fuck you.
Yeah. Should be quite... No, I reckon it was probably the last show. Yeah, definitely one of the last shows. We'd packed down, and so I think I've talked about this before, but like, there's a weird vibe when you're doing these shows in small towns, and you feel like some dudes that are seeing these young blokes come into town and they're stripping for all their girlfriends, like they're a bit pissed about it. You can tell they're just like, these fucking idiots. And so I think it was like hyper aware that
ready for
you could get bashed. You could have, like, someone's coming out, you know, fucking making comments about you, you know, because you're tanned up and wearing G-strings, you know. And some of them are bogans that are saying stuff. I mean, we definitely had people say shit in the past, yell. And
Did you have security?
Nah. But this one night, we'd pack down the show and we're driving.
What does pack down look like?
Oh, because we were doing the lights and shit.
Lights. I'm imagining one of those like, like the signs that you have at a conference that you put, like, has a stick that holds it up and then you pull it down and it sort of retracts.
Core flutes and roller banners.
Yeah, roller banner. Did you have a roller banner?
Yeah, the roller banners came out at halftime.
Well, nowadays
to do the merch sales.
You'd have a big. What is it with? Here's a tip for if you've got a business.
Here we go.
Businesses that they spend all the money on a decal, you know, like for their car or whatever, you know, doing a wrap or their truck, and the Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook logo is bigger than their own. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, there's someone from Instagram. It's like, oh no, they just want us to follow John's mowing service on Instagram. It's like, mate, I reckon bring it. Maybe not even have the logo on there.
Right. They need designing for dummies online. It's hard. I feel the pain there. It's an easy mistake to make. You grab a PNG off Google and you just drop it into
something.
None of
them match.
Anyway, finish the story. We're driving off in our van. There's like 6 of us in there, and you know, sound guy, MC, and then the four guys, including me, and we started getting
a soundo.
Yeah, it's a full-on. Do you have your own PA system, or
there was PA systems that we had?
Would the soundo strip?
Nah.
Okay, it's just a soundo.
Would the soundo get paid the same as the strippers?
No, he was definitely not.
Okay. What were you getting paid?
I can't rember. 100.
No, dig deep.
I actually cannot remember. It was cash. It was all cash, and then we'd make more money if we sold like fucking photos of us. It was so bizarre.
Who took the photos?
No, it was all Polaroids, and you'd sell Polaroids. So at the end of the show, there would be like the guys up on stage, and some of them were like, mate, the other guys were like, mate, we need that fucking download. It's going to make us look better for the photos. And so I was 19 and I was just I was having fun. Anyway, you'd have people come up and sit on their lap and get a photo charge for $10. $10 cash.
Any DVDs?
So you could get more cash. So if we could make more money. I think it might have been like $150 a show plus any of the merch sales and.
What about like extra? Did anyone because you hear like Vegas.
I
and
will
stuff.
finish this fucking story.
There's so much to ask. Was there any sort of someone suggesting that they would give more cash for other things?
I had $10 shoved in my G-string once by an old grandma.
For potential for something else.
Oh, you're talking about
So what I'm talking about is like in Vegas or whatever. Don't they? Yes.
Yeah.
Did any not saying that you did that, but did anyone
I
I
didn't do it.
Suggest?
There was, when we had it, so the business that I had in Melbourne, Aussie Spunks, the number that we had 0488 Spunks. It's pretty proud of that. I got that. There was people texting that, women texting that, wanting escort service.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so go on. So you're in you've got the soundo.
Yeah, we're all in the car. We're driving off, and then all of a sudden we're getting followed by this car. And we're like, oh fuck! This is definitely some boyfriends of the girls who are at the show, and they're angry, and built that story. Like we're gonna have to fight. And so we drive down this road, and then we pull over. We're like, fuck this, let's fight them. And then we fucking pull over, roll the door open, and then the car, girls hanging out the window, yelling, fucking swinging something in their hand. I don't know, but we're getting chased by girls from the show.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, it's at that point, it's like good that you wasn't a bunch of aggressive guys.
Sure.
But anyway, getting chased by women in cars.
That's nice. I listened to episode 1 yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Throwback.
All I listened to was the bit that was put on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did like about it, actually, you'd never give advice to a new podcast to start the way we did, but we haven't changed much.
What do you mean?
Within the first 4 seconds, I'm saying something about how you've just introed the show.
Yeah, sure. It's
Which
very
has
meta.
probably happened about 500 times. But I was like, at that point, I was like, listening back to, now, how many episodes now? 760 something?
763, yeah.
Fuck, I guess the only bit of advice is like be yourself, but then you wouldn't advise people to start a show like that for the first one.
I reckon, like just do what low energy. Do you reckon?
A whole bunch of stuff, but that's you got to start. You got to fumble.
Yeah, there was a bit of fumbling, but the funny thing was, so I mentioned it was probably only 2 weeks ago about going to London and a regional radio show giving me the torch.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
So episode 1, I mentioned it, and I have a better memory of during that time. I told the story better. If you enjoyed that story, go and listen to it on Ep1. But
the better version.
Heath and Normie were the guys' names who had a radio show.
Right. I remember
Heath and Normie.
Yeah.
And then I went down a rabbit hole of trying to find Heath and Normie.
Where are they now?
Normie lives in Texas.
Does he? What's he doing over there?
Don't know, but he doesn't really follow any radio people. I feel like he's fucking...
What's the story, Josh?
The story I told was it was like he was in the talent pipeline. He was meant to get, the big metro show. Didn't happen. He did, however, find someone that he fell in love with in Texas.
Yeah.
And so he's moved there, and he doesn't really talk about radio now. And so it's a fun story when I'm imagining he's got some sort of corporate job or whatever. And when, he comes in to do consultancy and they're like, oh, this is, I forgot his actual name, but it's like, oh, yeah, here's John. Yeah. And what's a fun fact about John? And he's like, well, in the mid-2000s, I was on a radio show in Australia and my nickname was Normie.
I tell you what, they do have a Wikipedia page, the Heath and Normie show.
Yeah. What was his name? Normie's actual
Heath
name?
and Normie, I don't know, personalities. Where is it?
It's near the end of the second paragraph.
Special. Oh, here we go. Heath Piper.
Lucas.
And Lucas Normie Doral.
Mm-hmm. But he's on Instagram. He did a funny post.
What would if you had to have a wacky radio name, what would it be?
Buster.
Why?
Buster?
Because he's busting your balls.
No, Buster sounds too... Buster sounds like a producer. It's sort of low status. No offense.
What would it be though?
Buster someone that gets the...
No, I get it.
What would you like? Tiger?
I always go with like J-Dog with a double G. But I don't think that... I think it's too ridiculous.
Like that's low status.
Yeah, that is. I think it is.
J-Dog.
That's lower than Buster.
Anything like... what do you think? You guys think? Why don't we all do it for each other? You got to come up with your radio names.
Okay.
So Tommy Jackett, I reckon, is Beauty.
No.
Beauty?
What?
Handsome?
Well, I think they just do it off. Like, I remember there was a time talking in
Handsome and the geek?
about us doing, like me being TJ, because it's about if the names float. Tommy and Josh go together, Josh and Tommy, whatever it be. It was like Tommy and Candy.
Hard.
And it was like, should we be doing TJ, Candy?
TJ and Candy. No. What did you put? Do you remember what you pushed?
Tommy. That's just one of my fucking name.
Yeah.
Tom, they were thinking. I was like, absolutely not.
Tom.
Nah.
Tom.
Nah,
Big Tom.
Big Tom. That's funny.
Tom. Yeah. I mean, it's rich because we give everyone else nicknames, but you and I don't. We're just, it's either a
Well, what could it be?
TJ
JJ.
or JJ.
Yeah.
JJ and TJ.
Janssen and Jackett.
Janssen.
Come on, let's just
That
give
sounds like a fucking law firm.
Janssen Associates, yeah, for your accounting needs.
Yeah.
No, just for 30 more seconds on this. This is good.
Strip.
Now, what is it? Come on.
You know, the wacky
strip.
past, PT.
So what do you like?
What do I like?
Yeah. I don't know. What about
Meditation.
something? Meditate. Yeah. Guru. Guru.
Yeah, I'll take Guru.
What about like
But I've called Rain Man
Guru Tom? Tom the Guru. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday night. It's Tom Guru here on the decks. That's fun. Tom Guru. Actually, that was the one thing that I fucking like. I realized how much of a narcissist I am because I was listening to episode. Like, I was sitting on the couch, just fucking arms crossed, just like, what do we talk about? Just listening.
You're completely disconnected though.
But there was, I'm trying to think, the bit that I did like, I feel like I'm very consistent because there's a whole section where, and this is going to become the show where I just talk about what happened.
Yeah.
On,
what you said.
What I said. And that's what I was very wary of that. I was like, fuck, there's a lot of, in the Discord, I was just doing a blow by blow. It's like, and then I said this, and then I said that, and fuck, wasn't it funny when I did this? Yeah. No, but I was talking about Smooth FM and how I like doing the painting the picture. And you gave a lot of pushback with me painting the picture, and I want to bring it back.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to give it a go now?
Yes, please. So no, it's very basic. It's that idea of you're in bed right now, you're going to sleep, you're relaxed, you're having a really nice snuggly night in, you're under the doona, or maybe you're going on that jog that you wanted to go on, or stuck in traffic as well. Beep beep to you. It's the Daily Talk Show. But it's nice, isn't it? It sort of paints this picture. Like if you're running right now, give me a smile. No, seriously. No, I'm talking to you. Smile, bigger.
I know what you're trying to do.
See, there we go. That was fun, wasn't it?
You're just trying to connect to where the person is.
Well, the thing is that like they're just doing the dishes right now. That's you, isn't it? Are you doing the dishes right now? No,
I mean, you'll hit at some point.
Do you know the funny thing
There's enough people listening now that it makes more sense now than when we had 3 listeners.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is with dishes, they're probably wondering, like, how the fuck do I stack the bowls? If that's you, hi.
There was one I remember where you said, if you're on a plane right now, send us a photo.
Yeah, not many people on planes.
No.
I think we got one or two. Yeah.
Well, why don't we? So Rain Man did all the work in regards to the survey. So we can just look at the highest percentage of how people listen as a way of getting the most amount. Do you like that idea?
The most amount of what?
Of people. So it's like, I can tell you how most people listen to the show, like what they're doing.
Oh, and then, are you just trying to connect to what you can then say to paint the picture?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're driving in the car. Fuck.
Exactly.
Most people listen to podcasts.
Well,
hey, if you are.
At work, doing a few emails.
Hey, if you're at home.
Yeah. You're meant to be doing something else. See, now I've bought into it.
But it's so much fun. Okay, here you go.
But I think it just gets a bit boring. What Josh wanted to do was at the very start of the show.
Okay.
Mention it.
So 38% of people listen while exercising, 51% in the car, 23% on public transport, 32% at work, 59% at home, and 53% while doing household tasks.
Hang on.
So what I say, it's not an equal percentage because you can select more than one.
Sure.
There you go.
I was about to say this is...
No, so you can select more than one.
5-quarter latte.
Yeah. So based on that, household tasks at home, very high, over 50% for both of them. and in the car. So I think that if I was to do it, it's like if you are about to do the vacuuming, if you're just doing a bit of tidying up, if you're working out where that last bit of dust is, enjoy the household chores, get them done while you're listening to the Daily Talk Show. It's great to be here.
But it's just if you're a parent and, you know, your partner's putting the kid to bed and you're cooking dinner and you're just feeling like you've got some alone time and you've got us in your ears, welcome.
Yeah, if you're cutting an onion right now.
That's when I do it. Just think about when you do it and someone will be doing the exact similar thing.
I mean, I think the working out one's great. Like if your heart rate's up, if you're really feeling it in your chest and your throat, keep pushing. You listen to the Daily Talk Show.
Motivational, mate.
Oh my God. We're getting it in.
Chill out, Craig Harper.
I've never heard anyone say that before. What was that? If you're feeling it, what was the throat bit?
Feeling it in your throat. You know when you get the little, I mean,
what did you say?
Tommy, you know when you get that little.
Tommy, fuck off, fuckhead. What did you say?
You know, you get like, I don't know, like hurts in your throat. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. It's like
you get like a congested
reflux. I get reflux. Yeah, when I'm like on the couch and fucking, you know, eating a curry, laying down.
It's coming back up. Yeah.
Right. Speaking of food, I'm hungry. I got to go.
Yeah, maybe you're actually just having a bite to eat as well.
Yeah, you're about to just switch off because dinner's ready. Thanks for listening.
The other thing is, you could be like, just feel.
If I get one, he will then follow with one after that. So watch.
I'm going to do one after. So go on.
Well,
but then he'll come back and get you another.
No, you're just feeling it. If you are lifting the weight, feel it. Like put yourself in the muscle. Feel the.
Look at the bicep when you're doing it.
Yeah, no, but actually, see, the problem with that is it's so specific. They have to be doing their arms, whereas I want to do something.
Yeah, but it's ultimate connection if you get on something a bit bespoke.
You're 4 squats in.
Yeah, imagine being at 4 squats in and just fucking.
Hi the Daily Talk Show. Yeah, hi the dailytalkshow.com. Have we had any emails?
Yeah, so we got one from Fabian from Berlin. And it's just on the stuff that we talked about yesterday with people naming their kids Adolf. And he says that there is a big sensitivity in Germany around that. So
thank you, Fabian.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fabs.
You might be in your car right now. Going
Fabian might have been listening while, you know, on a light walk.
What's the weirdest place? If you're doing something very weird right now?
Well, you might be in the shower and you don't have a UE boom to amplify the sound. So you're using your phone and it's getting wet. And you can't really hear properly, so you're going to have to rewind when you get out and re-listen.
Have you done that before?
I do that all the time.
What's crazy is when we've seen somebody who's listening at the time that we've seen them. Like so I was also filming with Nazim, comedian Nazim, and he ran up to a car. We were doing Vox Pops with Barefoot Investor, and I'm shooting, and he runs up to this car, and I had headphones on, and because he was strapped with a lapel, I wasn't close to him. I could hear the guy say, "Mate, I'm fucking listening to your podcast right now." The dude had his mind blew up because Nazim, celebrity, runs up to him. It was fucking crazy.
Who was that legend that we bumped into at the airport?
Oh, Mark. Fuck. We were at the Sydney airport.
Oh, that was great.
And we were
and he was listening to us.
Yes, and he came up to you.
Yeah.
Said,
we also had Wombat did that walking up Victoria Street.
Yes, yeah.
Wombat was walking up Victoria Street and he had Bo's headphones on or whatever.
Yeah, and he saw
the
me.
ones, and he saw you, and he's like, "Did he stop you?" Maybe he messaged.
But he looked like he was a guy that was listening to.
Yeah, that was before Wombat
and then actually saw the person that's listening. Whoa. Anyway,
it's Tommy J. It's what did we call you?
Strip?
What was the nickname?
No, it wasn't Strip. Handsome.
No, what was
I'll
that?
take any of these.
No, what was
Tom
that?
Guru.
Tom Guru is great.
Tom Guru.
Tom Guru.
I'm buying
get around that. Yeah. It's a daily talk show. If you're listening in an interesting place, do an Instagram story now. Do you know what we haven't done in a while?
Oh, yes.
What is it?
10 seconds of admin.
10 seconds of admin. Take a screen grab right now of you listening to the show. Post it on Instagram as a story and we'll regram it. What a deal. That's right. Get out of the Kick app because I know that you're doing a workout right now. Get the photo. It could be you working out. Extra points if you're working out. If you've got a sweat. And tag the Daily Talk Show and we will regram it.
Or if you're going into a sauna.
Don't do it because he's going to now try and get you another one.
Oh, what about, hang on.
See?
If we can get someone in a spa or spring, not to get smutty.
Hot springs.
Hot springs.
Yeah.
That would be great. Sauna without a roof.
See, now he's going to
sauna
get another one.
No, I think the sauna. A really good one is
Mason.
The gym. Not many. I was actually thinking about this. I said this to Bree this morning because all the gyms are reopening. I had a moment where I'm like, if I still had my Fitness First membership, because I paid for a year and went like 5 times or whatever, but I was in contract. If the pandemic had happened, could I have called up and been like, this is what I would have said? I'm like, mate, I can't use my membership. I want to be using it. I can't go into your gym. I want to cancel right now.
Yeah, I'm sure
would they have done that?
I reckon.
Definitely. I think I think they're actually giving people their money back.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Sounds like something they would do.
They were hoping people would just put it on hold.
Nathan's sitting by a pool right now in the YouTube chat.
We didn't mention that one, so.
Hey, jump in, please.
Yeah,
jump
if
in.
you are. I mean, I feel like
the weather was
Can we
great.
finish up so Nathan can jump into the pool?
Yeah, great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's a Daily Talk Show. See you tomorrow, everyone. Have a lovely day.
See you guys.